The next speaker is going to talk about Africa's way forward. And this is going to be hard to pronounce as well. I'm sorry, I asked you in advance. It's Hervé Bouagnimbeck, perhaps. And he's from the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement and the Africa office. So, please. Stay here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Frederick, for giving me the floor. I would like also to extend my thanks to SSNC for the invitation and for this opportunity to tell you something about organic in Africa. I am based in Germany, working for IFOAM, which is the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movements. So I coordinate the Africa office of IFOAM. So when I received this invitation yesterday, I started my trip. I was supposed to travel directly from Frankfurt to Stockholm, but I got stuck in Frankfurt because the airport in Stockholm was closed. So I had to travel to Copenhagen and then to Gothenburg, and then I finally arrived today. So by telling you this small story, I just wanted to let you know that there are different ways sometimes to reach your goal. But most importantly, it's to reach your goal in a very sustainable way, in a safe way. So it's bring me a little bit to my topic because I'm going to talk to you about different ways of reaching different goals. And first of all, before I start, I just wanted to shortly introduce IFOAM. Like I said, it's the International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement. So we are a membership-based organization with more than 800 members around the world. So our main mission is really to lead, assist, and unite the organic movement in its all diversity. So our goal is the implementation of organic agriculture around the world. So having said that, let me a little bit give you a few figures. I think Joanna already gave you a few figures about the number of hungry people around the world. I would just to emphasize it a little bit, saying that we have more than 900 million people suffering from hunger around the world. So in Africa, in particular, we have more than 200 million people suffering from hunger. I think Joanna already said the different reasons for that. I don't need to go into details. But what I wanted to highlight is that among those people suffering from hunger, smallholders farmers are the most important group really suffering from hunger. According to recent statistics, we have more than 50 smallholder farmers around the world really suffering from hunger. And if you take this to Africa, for example, this will mean a number of, I think, 120 million small-scale farmers suffering from hunger. So in the past, there were different approach to solve this problem. And there was an approach based on the industrialization of African agriculture. There was other approach based on more sustainable practices. But I think Ada already mentioned it quite quickly. When it comes to agriculture, I think business as usual is not more an option. This is not only the results of this OECD report, but it's also the results of the I-State report. I hope that most of you have heard about this report. We finally conclude that business as usual is also not an option in agriculture. So what are the other options? I think from an IFOAM perspective and based on the experiences of small-scale farmers on the ground, based on research, we can say that the best option for the future is really organic agriculture. When I talk about organic agriculture, I include also other forms of ecological agriculture, which are part of it. So it's about really using the available resources. It's about building the capacity for small-scale farmers so that they can build their food according to their own specificities. Just to give you an example about the rates, so the contribution of small-scale farmers in the worldwide production. I think sometimes when we talk about small-scale agriculture, we think that it's something too small. But in fact, you will see that if you have a review of the literature, it's clear that according to specific research studies, so small-scale agriculture contributes to more than 70% to the worldwide production, which is quite a lot. And if you take, for example, the Africa, the continent I wanted to put more emphasis on, you will realize that most farmers involved in agriculture in Africa are small-scale farmers. So they are farming, if you take here, according to this diagram, they are farming less than 10 hectares each per farms. So that means that if you would like to solve the problem of hunger and poverty in Africa, we need to address the needs of those small-scale farmers. I think I join this position of the president of IFAD would say that, the whole thing is really about transforming small-scale farmers, small-scale agriculture into successful rural agricultural businesses. Farming is about businesses, but we should make sure that this business is really protecting the environment and not really working against it. We should make sure that this business, this new way of farming, is really working with the nature, not against the nature. So let me shortly introduce you organic agriculture, because sometimes when we talk about organic agriculture, particularly in Europe, I made this experience many times. People only think that organic is about certified products on the shelves of a supermarket and those kind of things. But I think organic is more than that. Organic is more than those products available. I trust that those products are organic. Okay. Okay. Organic is more than that. And organic is also not only about certification. I think this diagram is clear about it. Organic is about also non-certified organic production. In fact, in Africa, most of organic farmers are non-certified farmers. So when we try sometimes to collect statistics, we always focus on certified organic production because it's easy maybe to compare with other parts of Europe or other parts of the world. But this is not really reflecting the reality. And at IFOAM, we consider all types of organic production, whether non-certified or certified organic production. The most important thing, the both should be based on the principles of organic agriculture, which are ecology, care, health, and fairness. When you analyze a little bit the way how organic agriculture in Africa is structured, you will realize that the great majority are already traditional farmers. So they farm really without synthetic input. Someone could say they are organic by default. So if those farmers are really trained in organic practices, if they receive support for implementing those practices, the experience and the research has shown that they increase their yield. So they have access also to new market opportunities. They improve their health because they are eating more and diverse food. Let me give you some examples that have shown or documented what I just said. The first one is an UNCTAD and UNEP study about organic and food security in Africa. So the study analyzed more than 120 projects across Africa, comparing the yield at the beginning and after a couple of years after the implementation of organic practices. And the conclusion of one of the remarkable results of this study was that against the misconception that organic agriculture cannot lead to increased yield, in Africa is different. So we had an increase of more than 160% in the whole continent, and even in East Africa, more than 128%. So the both head of the institution of UNEP and UNCTAD conclude that the evidence presented in this study really confirm that organic can be more conductive in terms of food security in Africa. Another remarkable project is the Tigray project in Ethiopia. The Tigray region in Ethiopia is a region which was formerly degraded, so affected by erosion and land degradation. So through the use of compost, of other water resource management techniques, so they have really managed to increase, to reverse the situation and to bring back this degraded land into production. They also managed to increase the productivity in this region. And most importantly, they also managed to change the way farmers were farming. So they managed to reduce really the use of synthetic inputs. And I think that is very important. And that is also an example which confirms a little bit how non-certified organic production can also help communities, households, families to move out of the poverty and to enjoy a better life. So you have here a comparison from 3 different treatments: the check, the compost, and the field with compost, and another field with chemical fertilizers. And we realize that in the different variety of wheat, of cereals, the compost or organic farming practices were higher. The yield of organic practices were higher than the 2 others treatments. Why is really organic making the difference in this kind of systems? I think one of the reasons is that in organic farming, farmers feed the soil. They feed the soil and they don't feed the plant. I think this is very important to differentiate. And by feeding the soil, they really increase the organic matter of the soil. And the organic matter has the capacity of really holding water into the soil. That makes it really, I think, a big difference. If you can see it, if you compare after a long drought period, if you compare organic farming system to conventional one, you will really see that organic farming system can continue to produce even without rains, because the soil, they build the organic matter of the soil, and this has improved the water holding capacity of the soil. And you can see here an electron, a microscope way of the humus. You can see that it's really this is active. Oh, sorry. What happened? Okay. Anyway, okay. This is humus. It's really acting like a sponge. You know, it's fixed water in the soil and make it available in difficult times. Some people are sometimes wondering how can weeds, how can pests be managed in organic farming systems? I think this is also one of the parts I was talking about when you teach really farmers how to manage pests and diseases in a very sustainable way without the use of synthetic input to increase their productivity. This is the push and pull method, which was developed in in Kenya by ICP, which is an international organization, together with local farmers. So the push and pull is a method developed against stem borer. I think stem borer is one of the most important maize pests in Africa. Together with striga is a weed, they can really destroy the whole production, the whole farm. So push and pull really has managed to solve this problem. The system is really scientifically based. There are scientific evidence about it. So the system can really help farmers to increase their yield up to 200%. So how does it work? You have the system works very simple. You plant between the row of maize, a kind of desmodium. Desmodium has the capacity not only to fix the nitrogen into the soil, but it's also produce a chemical substance that's really pull or push the stem borer moths out of the field. So on here, you plant what is called napier grass. Napier grass produce also a chemical substance that really attract or pull the stem borer moth out of the field. So by using this system, you really manage to have a clean field without stem borer. This is a system using available resources. It's not about getting into debt to buy synthetic fertilizers. It is really about using available resources, technology to produce food. And this is really useful for farmers, for small-scale farmers with low resources. This is how it's looked in the practice. So this is just a demonstration farm. So how push and pull looks in the practice. Like I said, you have the napier grass here, you have a row of maize, and in between you plant desmodium. So I think I have already mentioned it. One of the particularity of organic agriculture is that it gives farmers access to new market opportunities. It's not only about export markets, because sometimes many people think that organic is also only about export market. But if you take the examples of many African countries, you will realize that local markets are very, very important. They are not necessarily certified. They are not necessarily called organic. But sometimes they are organic farmers that have been trained and receive this knowledge about organic farming practices. They use it, and they sell their product at the local market. What makes the difference in this case is the quality of the product. It's the high quality of organic products. We have good examples in many African countries where local farmers really sell their products, not as organic, but they manage to get a premium because of the good quality of their products. But we also have access to international market, of course. The market is growing, and it's an opportunity for many African countries. And I think it's important to get access to this market, which is conditioned with the certification. Those are just a few pictures of some market scene or market action in Africa. In the afternoon, Moses Mwanga will give you more information about the marketing of African organic products. So like I was saying, the global market is growing for organic products. So in 1999, it was only 15 billion US dollar. Now we are almost around 60 billion US dollar. So like I just said, it's an opportunity also for many African countries. And this also leads to increased income for farmers, which is also good for their household, for their food security. And with this additional income, they can manage to send their children to school. They can manage to pay for hospital expenses. Just to give you an extent of organic farming in Africa, currently 70 million hectares are certified organic, and they are managed by 530,000 organic farms in 38 countries. The 70 million are broken down in two categories. 1 million is agricultural land, and 70 million is wild and beekeeping production. But in total, you have 70 million hectares certified in Africa. So the most important countries in terms of organic certified lands are Uganda, Tunisia, and Ethiopia. So I think having Musa Mwanga today among us is a very important thing, because he can really share the Ugandan experience if they are leading the movement in terms of organic land. I think maybe he can explain a little bit the rationale behind it, and most importantly, the market access. I am almost there. I just wanted to, I still have 2 or 3 slides. This is a very important slide because if we consider that organic really, the multifunctionality of organic agriculture in Africa, if you have research-based information confirming that organic is not only good for food security, but also helping small-scale farmers to adapt to climate change. There's, according to me, no reason for not having organic agriculture include in the different national and African agricultural policies. But like you see here, we have only a few countries in Africa having organic agriculture included in their agricultural policy. Some of them recognize the contribution of organic agriculture to national challenges and all, but still, organic agriculture is not included in the different policy. Ladies and gentlemen, if we want to make sure that organic agriculture in Africa is really benefiting more farmers, this is the way to go. I think Ada mentioned a lot of different policy advices of recommendation. I don't want to go through it. I think it's more than less the same. It's about research. It's about creating more investment in organic agriculture and all that. The African Union, which is the continental, is like the European Union here in Europe, has also recognized the potential of organic agriculture. And they have adopted in January 2011 a decision on organic farming. But again, this is a decision. This is a recognition for the potential of organic agriculture. But what is really needed is investment. It's a translation of those policies into money. Because if you don't include organic agriculture into a program in your budget, you are not really supporting it. And giving the contribution of organic agriculture to different challenges in Africa, I believe, and the research also confirm it, that is the way to go. It's a way to move millions of small-scale farmers out of poverty and hunger so that they can enjoy a better life. Thank you.